welcome to my channel. Well, I know I haven't done a Fun Knife Friday in a while, so I thought I'd give you a Fun Knife Friday pattern. A knife pattern and a couple of different knives. These are the Marbles originally made these as like a safety knife. It's got like a swing guard, which already protects your hand, a little bit, but it has this extra little piece back here that comes in and protects it. So you've got a handle that's not too long, it fits your hand real well. You don't have a lot of extra material back here, but you've got a longer blade than the handle. And this is a more traditional look, to the style of this knife. But Grandway also makes a version of this, and it, I think, even though it's not more traditional looking, I think this has a more Fun Knife Friday appeal, because you've got that harpoon effect. Who doesn't love speed holes in their knife blades, for fun? It has no practical use, but it just gives the impression of, like these are exhaust ports, or the blood of your imaginary enemies are flowing through it. Whatever you want to come up with for these holes. Personally, these non-functional holes I don't like, but we're talking about fun. We're not talking about practicality. It doesn't always have to be. See, you've even got some back here. Got holes everywhere in this knife. You've even got one here, which would allow you to put a pin or something through there. See, if this is not safe enough for you. Now it's missing the, the swing guard on it, like the original one. But you got everything else. This does kind of get in the way a little bit, but you still have a way to choke up and still protect your hand, from the blade, which isn't going anywhere in this type of style of knife and everything. And the only problem with this, of course, is that, yeah, you've got this longer piece back here, but and that does stick out in the way, but they actually came out with a sheath that works for both of these knives that goes in there and does it's halfway decent sheath. It does a fairly good job. So there you've got what you got is basically like a little Bowie-like blade. And Marbles has this in like white and black bone, which you can also torch if you want to make it look, antique and stuff. And these things go around $20, $25. They're not too expensive. And they're just a fun knife, man, because when you get it in your hand, it's just got a good-sized blade on it. It's about as safe as you're going to get. It's about 4 3/8 inch cutting edge. This thing's not going to close on you. I don't see it. This one is a solid piece right here. This other one is hollow, to more fit what they did. They just folded that over, so it's a little bit less safe than this one if you're worried about safety. See, they had their channel to go up here and stop rather than fold over metal. But if you get one of these things to fold on you, you're doing something wrong with your knife. Very wrong. That's why they call it a safety knife. But yeah, it's got a very good history. I won't go through all the whole history of it and everything. I've done a video on these type of knives before, but yeah, there you go. Normally, Danny Dino would do a Fun Knife Friday and stuff, but they've been, like I said, hit with lawsuits and paying out and supply chain issues. Oh man, they come up with all kinds of excuses. When I go up to ask them, first off, Nigel is a cat. So, I go to him for cat news, and he's asleep. Cats sleep like 16 hours a day. So every time I come up to him, he's like, come back to me when I'm awake. Well, man, when are you awake? Usually when I'm asleep. But anyway, That's enough of that. Anyways, thank you for watching, and have a fun night Friday.